We've all been there. Saving your first 10K may seem impossible at first, but it really isn't. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it using 3 simple rules. Let's start with spending less. This doesn't mean cutting back on everything you enjoy, but it does mean making smarter financial decisions. It's important to know where your money is going. Track your expenses for a month, whether on a spreadsheet, an app, or even a piece of paper, to identify what's necessary and what's not when it comes to spending. Personally, I use a spreadsheet. Each month, I'll allocate about 15 to 30 minutes of my time just to understand what are the main things I'm spending my money on. And actually, if there's something that I don't need to spend money on, I'll take note and not do that next month. I go through every expense and I ask myself, do I really need this? And often the answer is no. This simple habit has saved me thousands of dollars over the years. Another tip is to cut out the small things that add up. Small expenses like eating out, impulsive purchases, and unnecessary subscriptions will eat away at your savings. Eating out, even on a budget, could cost you $20 each time, whether that's some fast food nearby or even a quick Uber Eats delivery. Instead, cooking at home could cost $4. If you normally eat out 3 times a week, you're saving nearly $200 a month just by eating at home. It's not just food. Subscriptions are another unnecessary expense. You might have signed up for a few streaming platforms like Crunchyroll, Disney Plus, or Amazon Prime. It doesn't feel like much when it's $10 here or $15 there. But over time, those add up too. If you're subscribed to 3 services each at $15 a pop, that's $45 a month or $540 a year. A good idea is to cancel the ones you don't use and put the money into your savings instead. Impulse purchases, whether you're at a store or shopping online, something catches your eye. These spontaneous purchases might not seem like a big deal at the time, but they add up pretty quickly. Let's say you spend $25 a week on impulsive purchases. That's about $100 a month, or $1,200 a year. So cutting out these 3 expenses alone can save you $350 a month. That's $4,200 a year. While saving is essential, there's only so much you can cut back on. The next step is to make more money. If you have a 9-to-5 job right now, consider picking up a side gig. Whether it's driving for a ride-sharing app, delivering food, or even assembling furniture. These flexible jobs can fit into your schedule perfectly and bring in some decent income. If your job starts in the day, you can work a side job at night. For example, working 15 hours a week earning $15 an hour can earn you about $900 a month. That's enough to reach your 10K goal in just 11 months. One thing here is though, you do have to pay taxes on the additional income you make, and the more you earn, the higher your tax rate is. But if you work a normal job, not earning crazy amounts of money, then by working an extra side job, you're probably not going to pay so much in additional tax per dollar you earn from that gig. But if you work a few hours extra on top of the 15 hours per week, you'll probably be able to save around $900. Working 2 jobs may sound really difficult, but if you have the energy, especially if you're younger, it's a trade-off. Sacrifice some time whilst you're young so that when you're older, you have a lot more freedom. Another powerful way to increase your income is to negotiate a higher salary at your current job. The best way to do this is to research the average salary for your current job. And this is contingent on the fact that you're really good at your job. If you're doing badly, this actually creates a risk. I've heard of people in the past that have gone to ask for more money, but their employers have come back saying, you haven't actually performed to our expectation. So now, not only are they not getting a salary increase, but now their job's at risk. So be very careful with this. If you're trying to negotiate a higher salary, make sure you have the evidence ready so that when your employer asks why, you need to give your employer a reason to pay you more. Focus on the value you bring to the company. Because if you can perform well, you're already doing a great job, there's no reason they wouldn't give you a little salary increase, within reason of course. Even a small raise could add up over time. For example, a $5,000 raise equates to about $416 a month before tax. That money can go right into your savings. It might also be worth exploring additional income streams. This could be renting out a spare room on Airbnb. If you have 2 rooms in your apartment and you're not using one, why not rent it out? Make some extra money. No risk, right? As long as you're comfortable with a roommate. You can sell unused items on sites like eBay and Depop, or freelance on sites like Upwork and Fiverr. These methods allow you to leverage your talents and earn some extra money, which gets you towards your savings goal. Here comes the final rule, and that's to invest early. Once you've started saving and earning more, it's time to make your money work for you, and you can do that by investing. One of the most effective ways to grow your savings is through compound interest. where the interest you earn on your savings starts earning interest too. For example, if you invest $500 a month, earning 7% annually, you'll have $35,000 after just 5 years. The earlier you start, the more powerful this effect becomes. It's important to choose the right investments. A simple and effective strategy would be to put money in the S&P 500 index, which generally provides an annual return of 7% per year. That's historically over the past 100 years. The S&P 500 is basically a diversified portfolio of the 500 largest publicly listed companies in the United States. It's a pretty low maintenance but decent option whether you're a beginner or an experienced investor. Now that we've covered spending less, earning more, and investing early, let's see what happens when you combine them. If you save $350 a month by cutting expenses and earn $900 a month from a side gig, you're saving an extra $1,250 per month. Now, if you take this amount and invest it in an S&P 500 index, you could reach your 10K goal in just 8 months. But what's more, if you invested $1,250 a month for 4 years and 3 months, you would earn a profit of $10,000 just from the interest on your savings alone. So why is having 10K in savings so important? First, having 10K in your bank account provides financial security. Whether it's an unexpected car repair, a medical bill, or a sudden job loss, having this money set aside gives you peace of mind. This means you won't need to rely on credit cards to cover unexpected emergencies, which can save you from falling into debt that spirals out of control. Having more money in the bank opens doors to new opportunities. You might want to put a down payment on a property, invest in a startup, or even start your own business. With money in the bank, you can take a calculated risk without fear of failure, and maybe that might change your life forever. Essentially, the more money you have, the more money you can make if you're able to allocate that capital correctly. And the final point is, you can buy back your time. When you're not living paycheck to paycheck, you have the freedom to make decisions that prioritize your well-being over immediate financial needs. For example, instead of working extra hours at your job or a side gig to cover bills, you can spend time investing in yourself, learning a new skill, maybe launching a business that takes your life to the next level, or just taking care of your mental health. But unfortunately, most people are forced to work non-stop and don't have the ability to pause. With financial security, you're not forced into the constant hustle where you have to make ends meet. Instead, you can focus on what truly matters to you. When you're not stressed about money, your mind is free to explore new ideas, solve problems, and plan for the long term. This clarity and peace of mind can help you make better decisions. Trust me, at a pretty early age, 21 years old, I got to a point in my life where I no longer needed to work for somebody. So I had the opportunity to work a job that gave me a lot more excitement and I could learn from, rather than a job that I was working purely for the money. Ultimately, having 10K in savings allows you to buy the most precious commodity of all, time. Time to think, time to grow, and time to live life on your own terms.